Yo, 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 this is Mr. O. And today we're going to learn about solving quadratic function by factoring. All of us have learned already how to do factoring by GCF, difference of two squares, baby factoring, big boy factoring, and that's it. And we're going to try now to solve it, okay? When you start solving, you're finding for the x value or for the variable, okay? So let's go ahead now. So before we start, just remember you have to set the equation equal to 0. So if you sometimes the equation will be jumbled, you have just to move them all in one side and set it equals 0. Then you can apply the idea of factoring and solve each factor, okay, or each variable. I mean, each variable. There are times that it's already factored form. Like this problem is already in factored form. So what you need to do here is split them into two. One is x plus 7 is equal to 0. One is x minus 1 is equal to 0. So for the x minus 7. So therefore, x equal to negative 7. Here, add 1, add 1. So therefore, x equal to positive 1. And that's the answer. It's a lot easy when the problem is already in factored form, right? Next, 6r minus 5 times the quantity 8r minus 7. Again, this is already in factored form. So just set them equal to 0. 6r minus 5 is equal to 0. And the other one is 8r minus 7 is equal to 0. Add 5 on both sides, add 5. So in order for us to isolate the r, 6r is equal to 5. Divide by 6, divide by 6. Cross it out. So therefore, the value of r here is 5 over 6. Add 7 here. 8r is equal to 7, divide by 8, divide by 8, cross it out. So therefore, r is equal to 7 over 8. 5 times the quantity 7k plus 3 times the quantity k plus 6. Again, this is also in factored form, except that there's a GCF. Do not worry about the GCF there because the GCF is only a 5. There's no variable to it, so you don't have to worry anything about it. So just do it like what we did in the previous one. 7k plus 3 is equal to 0, and k plus 6 is equal to 0. Minus 3 there, minus 3 there. 7k is equal to negative 3. Divide by 7, divide by 7. So therefore, net k is equal to negative 3 over 7. And minus 6 here, minus 6. K is equal to, cross it out, is equal to negative 6. And those are your solution, okay? All right. What if you're given a trinomial? X squared minus 12x plus 32. We're going to solve this one by factoring. We know it's a baby factoring because that's equal to 1. So what do? We write two factors there with the xx already because it's baby factoring. We have to think of two numbers. When you multiply them, it gives you a 32. When you add them, it gives you a negative 12. We know that's going to be 8 and 4. Negative 8 times negative 4 is positive 32. When you add two negatives, it's going to be negative 12. So this will be both minus and minus, and they are equal to 0. Split them into 2. X minus 4 is equal to 0. X minus 8 is equal to 0. Plus 4 here, plus 4 there. X equal to 4. That's one of your solution. Plus 8, plus 8. X equal to, cross it out, 8. So your solutions are 4 and 8. Very easy, right? Next, 2v squared plus 12v minus 18 equals negative 4. If you notice, this equation is not yet equal to 0. So I have to move the negative 4 to the other side by adding 4 here, adding 4 there. So this gives us 2v squared plus 12v minus 14 is equal to 0. And what's common to them? 2v squared plus 12v minus 14, they're all divisible by 2. So my GCF there is 2. I'm going to factor it out, and I am going to divide everything by 2. That will give me v squared plus 6v minus 7 equals 0. Now you can do the baby factoring here. This gives you a v and v. What two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you a negative 7. When you add them, gives you a 6. The answer is 7 and 1 with a positive here and negative here, right? So this will be positive 7. This will be minus 1. Drop the 2 is equal to 0. Since now we're solving, v plus 7 is equal to 0, minus 7 minus 7. So therefore, v is equal to negative 7 there. And the other one is v minus 1 equals 0. Add 1, add 1. So therefore, v is equal to 1. And those are your solution. 7v squared minus 196 plus 77v. On this case here, you have to set it equal 0. You can move the 7b squared to the other side, but remember, it's harder to start the problem if your a is negative. So instead of doing that way, I will do the opposite. I am going to move these two terms to the left, so to keep my a here a positive 7. So this will be adding 196 here, add 196 here, minus 77b here, minus 77b there. That will give me 7b squared minus 77b plus 196 is equal to 0. So again, it has to be equal to 0. Second, if you notice, I organize it in a standard form wherein the v squared comes first and the one with the variable comes second and the one without a variable is your c value. And again here the GCF is 7, so v squared minus 11 v and 196. So what you need to do is divide it. 196 divided by 7, it's going to be 28, positive 28 equals 0. Factor then baby factoring because the value of coefficient of v squared here is 1, v and v. That would be 7 and 4 minus minus and drop the 7 there is equal to 0. So therefore, v minus 4 equals 0, and v minus 7 equals 0. So therefore, add 4 here, add 4 there, v is equal to 4, add 7 here, add 7 there, v is equal to 7. Kaboom. Very simple, right? Now, this time is difference of two squares. We know the square root of 4 is 2, the square root of 1 is 1, and it's minus, so this will work. So 2n here, 1 and 1. 1 is positive, 1 is negative, equal to 0. Solve them out each of them. 2n plus 1 is equal to 0, and 2n minus 1 is equal to 0. Minus 1, that will give us 2n equals negative 1. Divide by 2, divide by 2, n is equal to negative 1 half. Kaboom. Plus 1 here, plus 1 there. 2n is equal to 1, divide by 2, divide by 2. So n is equal to 1 half. Kaboom. Very simple, right? Okay, 2m squared plus 5m plus 5 is equal to 3. I'm going to move the 3 to the left because this has to be equal to 0. So therefore, 2m squared plus 5m plus 2 is equal to 0. And this time, there's no GCF. And I'm going to do the big boy factor. I'm going to multiply 2 and 2. That will give me m squared plus 5m plus 4 equals 0. Remember that this goes out to become a baby factoring. M, 4, and 1. Two numbers that when you multiply them gives you a 4. When you add them gives you a 5. And both of them are positive. Common mistake of the student, they will forget to divide the 1 by 2. Where do we get the 2? Remember, we multiply 2 by 2 here. So again, this will go up to m plus 1. And 4 over 2 can be simplified as m plus 2 is equal to 0. Now you split them into 2. That will give us 2m plus 1 is equal to 0, minus 1, 2m equals negative 1. So therefore, m equals negative 1 half. And the other one is m plus 2 is equal to 0, minus 2. So therefore, m equals negative 2. There you have it. And that's how you solve a quadratic function or equation by factoring. Kaboom. Yeah.